Once upon a time, the vegetables on this list fed entire nations. They filled the root cellars that carried families through brutal winters. They were planted in every cottage garden and sold in every market square. And then, somewhere in the rush of the modern world, we simply forgot them. We traded a whole rainbow of nourishing, hearty, healing vegetables for the same 3 or 4 that line every supermarket shelf today. But these old vegetables never stopped being good for us. They were only waiting for us to remember. And today, that is exactly what we are going to do. Let me be honest with you right from the start, the way I would want a friend to be honest with me. No vegetable on earth is going to heal you in a single instant the way a miracle might. But the quiet, steady, nourishing power of these forgotten foods, and the way they sustain the health of whole generations before us, is no small thing. The thing we keep trying to buy back in pills and powders. So pull up a chair, and let me reintroduce you to 7 vegetables the modern world left behind. The ones that built strong bodies and saw families through times far harder than ours, and that are quietly waiting to do the same for you. We begin with the Jerusalem artichoke, which is, confusingly, neither from Jerusalem nor an artichoke. It is the knobbly underground tuber of a tall sunflower, and many people now call it the sunchoke. Native peoples of North America cultivated it long before Europeans ever arrived, and for good reason. It is rich in a special kind of fiber called inulin, which feeds the good bacteria in your gut, the very thing modern science is so excited about today. It has a sweet, nutty flavor, wonderful roasted, and it grows so easily it borders on unstoppable. Our ancestors leaned on it heavily, and we abandoned it for no good reason at all. Plant a few tubers in a spare corner of the yard, and you will have them coming back year after year with almost no effort on your part, which is exactly why they once fed so many people through so many hard times. The second forgotten vegetable is the parsnip, that pale, cream-colored root that looks like a carrot who lost its color. Before the potato took over the world, the parsnip was a staple across Europe, prized because it grows sweeter after the first frost, giving fresh food deep into the cold months. It is rich in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and it carries a warm, sweet, earthy flavor that comes alive when roasted. Our great-grandparents knew that a humble parsnip could carry a family through the hungry end of winter. Most people today have never cooked one in their lives. And that is a genuine shame, because few things are as comforting on a cold evening as parsnips roasted until their edges turn golden and caramelized, sweet enough that children will eat them like candy. This was everyday food once. It can be again. Third, we have the rutabaga, sometimes called the Swede, a hearty cross between a cabbage and a turnip with golden flesh and a mild, sweet, peppery taste. This was survival food in the truest sense, a vegetable so tough and so storable that it kept people alive through the leanest seasons across northern Europe. It is full of fiber and vitamin C, and it can be mashed, roasted, or stirred into a hearty stew. Plain, humble, and dependable, the rutabaga is exactly the kind of unglamorous hero the modern grocery store has no room for anymore. The fourth is kohlrabi, a vegetable so strange-looking that most people pass it by in pure confusion. It is a pale green or purple bulb with leaves shooting out like little antennae, and beneath that odd exterior is a crisp, mild, refreshing flesh that tastes a bit like a sweeter, milder broccoli stem. It is rich in vitamin C and fiber, lovely eaten raw and crunchy or gently cooked. It has fed people across Europe and Asia for centuries, and yet on this side of the world it remains a curiosity, sitting ignored in the corner of the produce aisle. Number 5 is salsify, perhaps the most forgotten of them all, a long, slender root that the old cooks affectionately called the oyster plant, because when cooked it carries a delicate flavor some say recalls the sea. It was once a beloved vegetable in fine kitchens and humble cottages alike, valued for its gentle, nourishing quality and its good fiber. Today you would be hard-pressed to find a single person under 60 who has ever tasted it. That is precisely the kind of loss this video is here to mend. The sixth is celeriac, also called celery root, and I will admit it is not the prettiest vegetable in the garden. It is a gnarled, knobbly, rough-looking root that hides one of the most elegant flavors you will ever meet. A clean, savory taste like celery, but deeper and warmer. It has long been valued in European kitchens, mashed, roasted, or shaved raw into a crisp salad. It is low in starch and rich in flavor, a favorite of healers and cooks who understood that the ugliest things in the garden often carry the greatest gifts. And finally, the seventh, watercress, a peppery green that grows wild in clean, cool streams and was once gathered by the basketful. Do not let its delicate look fool you, because gram for gram, watercress is one of the most nutrient-dense vegetables ever measured, absolutely packed with vitamins and protective compounds. The ancient Greeks fed it to their soldiers. Healers across the ages prized it as a spring tonic to cleanse and strengthen the body. It has a bright, fresh, peppery bite, and it transforms a plain sandwich or salad into something that genuinely nourishes. Now let me speak gently to those of you caring for someone you love. Perhaps you are looking after an aging parent or a spouse whose appetite and strength have faded, and you feel that helpless ache of wanting to do more than you can. I see you, and I want you to know that a warm, hearty soup made with roasted parsnip and celeriac, a comforting mash of rutabaga prepared with patient and loving hands. These are powerful acts of care. Good, simple, nourishing food, made the old way, is one of the deepest forms of love there is. It says, I want you here, I want you well, without ever needing the words. Our ancestors understood that the table was where healing began. Long before anyone spoke of nutrients and antioxidants, they knew that a steaming bowl set in front of someone you love, made from good honest food, did something no medicine could. It fed the body and the spirit at the same time. That truth has not changed one bit, no matter how much the world around us has. But honesty requires that I say this plainly. These forgotten vegetables are a wonderful foundation for good health, but they are not a replacement for proper medical care. They are not a reason to skip the doctor, and they are not a cure for serious illness. If you have specific dietary needs, or you are managing a health condition, talk with your physician or a dietitian about how best to bring new foods into your meals. Good food is powerful medicine, but it works best alongside good care, not instead of it. So the next time you wander past the strange and unfamiliar roots in the corner of the produce aisle, or you flip through an old cookbook and find a vegetable you have never heard of, do not pass it by. Pick it up, take it home, cook it the way your great-grandmother would have. These vegetables fed and strengthened entire generations, and they were never truly lost, only forgotten, set aside for the convenience of sameness, for shelves that look identical in every town. There is a quiet kind of freedom in stepping off that path, in growing or buying foods most people have forgotten, in eating with the seasons the way humans did for thousands of years. They are still here, still nourishing, still waiting on a shelf or in a seed packet for anyone willing to remember them. Bring one back to your table this week, and stay with me, because the old world set a far richer table than we have ever been led to believe.